Dallas continues to be one of the top relocation markets in the entire country. But as you've seen probably on the news, that we've seen some massive shifts as of late. We've got new construction building all over Dallas, Texas. And with that, some resale homes are taking a little bit longer to sell. And these builders are offering absolutely incredible incentives and are negotiating for the first time in a very long time. So what that means for you is that you as a buyer, well, the ball's back in your court. And now we can negotiate on these beautiful brand new homes, and it gets you that interest rate that you've been waiting for. So everything is right in place for you to buy the perfect home at a better price than you're probably seeing anywhere online through Zillow, Realtor.com, or any of those other major websites. But before you buy that next home, one of the most important aspects is, of course, you got to like where you live. So we're going to be covering some of the best places or suburbs to buy a new construction home here in the North Dallas area. Some of these are going to be the fastest growing areas in the entire country, and some you probably have never even heard of. And then stick around to the end because we're going to give you my top choice for where I would move here in 2025 and beyond. First up on our list is going to be Salina, Texas. Now, not Salina, Texas, but Salina, Texas. And it is one of the fastest growing cities in the entire country, and for good reason. It's basically just north of Frisco and Prosper, which are some of the most expensive, extravagant suburbs in all of North Dallas. So you just go north of that and you're going to run into Salina, and the price ranges are going to range from anywhere from around the, mid high 300s all the way up to multi-million-dollar homes in places such as Mustang Lakes. So you got a little bit of everything. They're currently building the Dallas North Tollway directly through there right now. So you can have quick access to those other major suburbs that we just spoke about, and you're gonna be able to get to Dallas much, much faster. So Salina is a large area. So it's supposed to be actually bigger than Frisco when it's all said and done. So in the next 10 years, we're looking at Salina 10xing in size and being around 450,000 people at build out, which is going to be bigger than Frisco, believe it or not. So if you were to call me, we go look at some houses over in Salina, there is a little bit of a shock to people because what you're going to see is some roads under construction, tons of beautiful master plan communities. And then outside of that, you're going to see a ton of ranches, open roads, and absolutely nothing. So there's a lot of nothing out in Salina right now, but there's, tons of building going on. So everything is right down the street or currently being built in that location. So that whole place is going to be transformed in the next 10 years. They also have one of the best downtown locations with amazing places to eat, community events, concerts, you name it, it's going to be right there. And they've kept that small town traditional feel, even with all the growth that's been happening. Now, some of the best neighborhoods in Salina, Texas that I love are Mustang Lakes. So if you're looking to spend a little more money or a lot more money, Mustang Lakes is basically the win song of Salina, Texas. So they've got, homes starting around the, $500,000-$600,000 range up to about $2-3 million for their beautiful brand new Huntington home model. So you got a little bit of everything over there, and it was a former horse ranch turned neighborhood that's absolutely beautiful. Another popular neighborhood is going to be Mosaic. So I've done lots of videos on Mosaic, and the big draw to that is it is the same developer that developed Windsong Ranch, the most popular neighborhood in DFW. And this one, instead of the 5-acre crystal clear lagoon, you're going to have a lazy river and tons of other beautiful amenities. The only downside is that it's towards the beginning phases, so they're completing the lazy river as we speak, and some of those other amenities are going to come later on. But they're going to have their own schools in a great location, and it's going to be one of the top master plan communities here in the next few years. Now, if you're looking for the best option for very affordable homes, that's going to be the Enclave at Legacy Ranch in Salina, Texas. So if you're looking in this specific city, that's going to have the best options and variety of new construction homes. They're going to start at those lower price points that people are looking for, and it's not that low quality you're going to get in a lot of other locations for the price. So if you're looking for a solid investment at a lower price point, I don't think it gets much better than Enclave at Legacy Ranch. I've got some clients building there right now, and it is absolutely beautiful. And they've actually got some topography and change in elevation, which we don't really get here in the Dallas area. Next on our list is going to be McKinney, Texas. And if you know anything about the Dallas suburbs, you know about McKinney. We're sitting around 250,000 people. So it's one of the larger suburbs on this list and more built out. So this is going to be not your average small community that we're going to talk about. But McKinney has a little bit of everything. I believe it's about 52.5 square miles. So it covers a large area and it's a perfect location smack dab in the middle of the North Dallas suburbs. So if you're worried about getting to other locations like Frisco, Allen, Plano, and other places like that for work or just to go out on the town, it's very easy and accessible to do so. So you've got Highway 380, Highway 75, and Highway 121 that all flows right through that. Now, McKinney has the best downtown, hands down, in all of Dallas. There's tons of shopping and dining options, local events, pretty much an event every other weekend, it seems like. If you go down there, something is going on, something fun is happening, and it's got that old town historic feel that looks like it's straight out of a Hallmark movie. But not only that, they're also getting a brand new amphitheater north of there that's going to be cost over $200 million. So McKinney's always had a kind of a joke running around that basically all you see in McKinney is car dealerships and beautiful neighborhoods, but they're getting past that and they're actually adding some entertainment districts. They're going to totally transform McKinney itself. So if you're looking for a home in McKinney, you've got tons of options to choose from. My favorite neighborhood, hands down, in McKinney, Texas is Trinity Falls on the north side of McKinney. It's been around for over a decade, but they've got everything as far as new construction is concerned, from lots ranging to up to over 70-foot lots to beautiful Highland Home townhomes. And they have luxury builders. There's walkable parks. There's miles and miles of hiking and bike trails, 18-hole frisbee golf. They've got resort-style pools, pretty much anything a family would need, including a director of fun. Now, a newer community that's come in the last few years that's rivaling Trinity Falls is going to be Painted Tree. Now, the big upside to Painted Tree is that it's in a slightly better location just north of Highway 380, but not close enough to hear the road noise. So it's just a little bit easier access to get to than it is to Trinity Falls. They're also going to have incredible builders such as Highland Homes, David Weekley, and one of the higher end luxury options is going to be Southgate Homes, which I've had multiple clients build with, and they are absolutely stunning. Now, if you're looking for the more affordable side of things, that's going to be on the far east side of McKinney, and those are going to be in neighborhoods called Eastridge and Southridge with Meritage and Trophy signature homes. Now, these are very popular options with people because you can get a ton of house for the money. I'm talking over 3,000 square feet in the 400,000s in McKinney, Texas. And these neighborhoods aren't just your plain Jane neighborhood. They've actually got resort style amenities and everything these other neighborhoods I just spoke about will have. So just at a fraction of the price. Now, one thing you need to note is that these are quite a ways off of the highway. So even though it's got a McKinney address, it's basically in Preston, and your drive time is going to be a lot longer than it is from these other locations that I just mentioned. Now, this next one is one of my favorites, and that's going to be on the northeast side of Dallas, and that's going to be Rockwall, Texas. Now, Rockwall, Texas is always been one of my favorite spots. I grew up in Forney, Texas, just south of there, and I always wanted to live in Rockwall. Now, one of the big draws to Rockwall is lake life. So you've got Lake Ray Hubbard, scenic views, sunsets, and everything you would want, because Dallas really isn't the prettiest place on the planet, I'll be honest. But when you drive through Rockwall, it actually feels kind of like a resort style community, but with that small town feel. So Rockwall's sitting around 45,000 people. You've got the harbor with tons of restaurants and shopping options right there on the lake. You got a marina. You can take a boat right off of, right from your restaurant and go across the lake. You've got anything you'd want as far as entertainment right there in that district. And right down the road is going to be another beautiful historic downtown with tons of local events and things to do for kids and families. Rockwall also has one of the lowest tax rates of any of these places we're going to be talking about. So if you're somebody who's trying to save money on their mortgage payment, or somebody who's planning on paying cash for a house and you don't want that big bill at the end of the year, well, the tax rates here are way lower. So I have multiple communities that I've shown here recently. They're sitting around the 1.5% mark as far as taxes go, where the average of the other places that I show a lot are going to be sitting in the low twos to even the mid mid 2% range. So that's going to save you thousands of dollars a year in your taxes. One of the best new communities in Rockwall is going to be a community called The Terraces. Absolutely gorgeous homes, and the big draw there is they've got larger lots. They're going to be in the 62-foot range up to over 100 feet in width. So just for instance, most of the average lot sizes here in the Dallas Metroplex are going to be around 50 feet wide. So you have options up to 100 feet wide, and there's lots of other communities as well that are going to offer ranges of sizes that other suburbs just don't have. Rockwall's going to have an assortment of way more options with way bigger lot sizes. So if you like bigger houses on bigger lots and you don't want to be right on top of your neighbor, but you don't want to take care of an acre, Rockwall is a great option for you. Real quick, my name is Preston, and I've helped hundreds of people from all over the country and all over the world relocate right here to the Dallas area. So it means the world to me when I put out these videos and you reach out to me personally. I am an expert here in the new construction space as well as resale, and I was born and raised here, so I know every suburb front to back. So I'm here to save you time, money, energy, and effort in your relocation. So if you're having any thoughts of moving here, contact me at this info below. Now, just north of McKinney, you're going to have a smaller suburban neighborhood called Melissa, Texas. Now, this has been one of the top relocation markets as well, just for its amazing location right off of Highway 75. They've got a brand new H-E-B that just opened up, which is the all-star of basically grocery stores here in Texas. And then right next to that is Buc-ee's. So it's not a major suburb by any means, but it's getting there. They put tons of money in their top-rated ISD with beautiful schools. They've got one of the nicest football stadiums you have ever seen for this small town, and beautiful neighborhoods surrounded on both sides of the highway. The one thing I do want to point out that some people complain about, and you need to know, is that they do have a dump in Melissa, and it is on the far northeast side. So I wouldn't build right on top of that. If you're outside of that location, I don't think it's really a factor, but that's something I want to bring up to you. But it was voted one of the safest places to live in all of Texas here recently, and there is so much development going up there, and it's just in a great location just north of McKinney, so easy access to places like Frisco, Plano, Allen, and all the other major suburbs that are going to have a lot more to do as far as entertainment. So this is a great place for families who want to get a little bit more for their money and still be in that top-rated ISD and one of the safest places in all of Texas. Now, the last community on our list is going to be the smallest of them all and probably the most under the radar that you haven't heard of, and that is Van Alstyne, Texas. Now, Van Alstyne, Texas is about 45 minutes north of Dallas, and it's going to be smack dab in the middle of McKinney and Sherman. So you're right off of the highway, and even though you're further out, you can still hop right on Highway 75 and get to everywhere you need to be, such as Frisco, Plano, Allen, McKinney, and all those bigger major suburbs. Now, everything is still coming up that way. You've got grocery stores within a close distance and everything you would need right there. And they have an awesome downtown that's actually being revitalized as we speak. They're doing so much to it to basically make it better looking. They have restaurants coming out there. They have a brand new restaurant that just opened up called Burnt. They do a farmer's market every week. They have an amphitheater with parks and stuff for kids all the time. And so it's just a great family-friendly environment. And because it's further north, you're going to get a whole lot more for your money. So there is multiple communities out in Van Alstyne for some brand new construction that you can get in the low 300,000s. They've even got some higher end luxury communities. One that is very popular is going to be called Mantua, and you can actually get into that neighborhood in the 400,000s up into the 800,000s. This is going to be a massive community that's going to have restaurants, commercial. They got a resort style pool. They've got lots ranging from 40-foot lots up to 62-foot lots with their high-end Perry homes. They've got a luxury pool. So it's basically like a neighborhood like you see in Trinity Falls or in Prosper, Texas with Windsong Ranch right here in Van Alstyne. And another big draw to Van Alstyne, not only the prices and the neighborhood options, is the 1 acre lot communities. So a lot of these other neighborhoods or areas that we talked about about, besides maybe Rockwall, doesn't really have acre lot communities. Now, Van Alstyne has a ton of them. So one of them is Riverside Homes, which is a very popular option because they build all over Van Alstyne, and they're going to range anywhere from the 500s up into the $800,000 price range. They build beautiful, large ranch-style homes with 200 plus wide lots, so you get lots of space between your neighbors. Some of these have HOAs, some of them do not. You're going to have a lower tax rate, sitting around the 1.9% tax rate mark. And then some other builders are going to be Cope Homes, Astoria Homes, and Landsea, which is another one of my favorites that are out there. And they've even got high-end luxury custom home neighborhoods in Van Alstyne as well. And it is also where me and my family decided to move ourselves. So I might be a little bit biased, but I was born and raised here in the Dallas area, just east of Dallas in a place called Forney. I've lived in McKinney, Melissa, and Anna, and I just keep moving a little bit further north because I like to be where everything's going and where I think things are going in the right direction and your home is going to appreciate. So these are all great options, but this is just where we landed. And I think it's going to be a very special place for a very long time. So these are my top 5 communities here for 2025, and for good reason. They all offer great growth potential, great schools, very safe place to live, and are amazing for families. So anything you'd want in a suburban life is right here in these communities. And if they don't have everything you need, I guarantee you they're going to have it very, very soon. I just see really good potential for all of these areas and for appreciation here in the future. So if it's not where you want to stay forever, you're going to be able to get out of that home very easily down the road as these areas continue to grow. Now, if you want to check out some of these communities and new construction tours, make sure to check out my video right here and check out the rest of the channel. And remember to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I'd love to help you and your family make a smooth move to Dallas. Hope to see you around town.